everybody. Welcome to GT Live. My name is Brandon Jones. I'm joined by special guests. We're doubling down on Matt's tonight.
Ooh, yeah, double the Matt.
Matt Sohinki and Matt Robb from Smosh Games. And it is Gamescom over there on the couch. We got Mr. Brad Ellis, Mr. Mike Huber, and Mr. Matt Blair, who's been pretty awesome rolling up the queues on all of the footage that is just being pumped at the world right now from Gamescom.
There's so much handsome in this room right now.
This is a pretty good looking room. I mean, speaking of good looking, we got Ian Hank there on the TriCaster. What's up, sexy Hank?
Hey, he's so lovely.
Showing his butt to everybody before the stream starts.
Hey, you gotta spice it up. Gotta spice it up.
And it is toned. Let me just say that.
His butt.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Well, that's why we invited
Got a
you
good
on the
butt.
show, Matt, of course.
Yeah, I'm here to review all the butts.
So we are not going to be playing a game today, but we will be giving out something that we've never done before. We usually give out codes on GT Live. We're going to try physical objects today,
wow.
but there's only one of them that we are going to be giving out.
It's
This is a grand prize. We're going to be giving away the head of Matt Sohinki. No, we're giving away this rare, meaning Rare the Developer backpack.
But also rare as in there's not a lot.
This is quite unusual.
millions
It is the only one here in the GT offices. It says Banjo-Kazooie on the front. There is the hat that Mr. Sohinki is modeling for us right now. The Battletoads hat is inside.
It has a Battletoads logo.
There's a bunch of stickers.
Wait, don't take the hat off. Put the hat back on. People can't know what the top of your head looks like.
And the one that I was feeling, there's a perfect dark wallet in there. I was like, oh no.
There are also some pretty
in the
dope
market.
Battletoads sunglasses in there.
That's right.
Some wraparounds. There's a piñata.
There's a lot of cool stuff in there. Obviously, we only got one of these, so we're going to be giving one of these away to the best question. The last 20 minutes of the show, guys, we're going to get some questions from our community, and then they're going to toss them at you at the end there. All the polite ones, of course. Good. And then the best one we're going to give this away to. Unfortunately, we cannot give this to anybody, and there are lots of people watching, especially this week from Europe.
We can't give this to anybody.
We can't at anybody. No one is getting
That's
this.
it. This is a giveaway. I get it. Yay! Thanks for having me on the show.
We're just going to make it look like we're giving it to you. No, we're going to be giving this to someone in the U.S. So if you're in the U.S. and you would like this, then throw a question at these guys, and Mr. Ben Moore will be joining us later in chat. Hopefully he will be saying hello to you guys and addressing himself so you know where to toss those questions to. We're not going to be playing anything today because there's still enough to talk about because Gamescom is still happening.
There's so much.
It's actually I think the second day of Gamescom is like about to start. I think it ended. Oh wait, would it be the third day of Gamescom's about to start?
I'm not a world traveler, but I think it's the third.
What time is it in Germany?
I think there's been two so far.
Right, the third day of Gamescom is about to begin. They're about to open up the doors. It is approaching morning over there in Germany. But yeah, it is kind of an interesting test of like, oh yeah, the world's round. I forgot.
Yeah, it's a weird thing.
But before we talk about games you guys are into, stuff you guys are excited about from Gamescom, what the hell Smosh Games is, because I don't think a lot of people know.
It's pronounced Smosh.
You guys, Smosh.
There's an accent.
It's an umlaut over the
Matt Raub.
Matt Raub and Sohinki's.
You guys are world travelers. You guys were in Finland or some crazy place?
Yeah, that's right. We've been to Finland. We've been to London. We're going back to London.
Italy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. We went to Italy. We went to Barcelona for Forza. Barcelona. We went to Spain.
So how do these things happen? How does the president of Spain call up and is
like,
I
bring
want
me Smosh? For a lot of these, so when we went to Italy and France and Barcelona, it was for Forza. So Forza flew us out there, and then we did this awesome campaign where we drove in race cars through all these different spots, and it was just beyond crazy. For Finland, Joven and Lasercorn went out just to meet fans and hang out at the Rovio Studios. They're going. You're not going. No, we might be going back to England this year.
We still don't know what you guys saw at Rovio, right? Have they announced?
It was Angry Birds 2.
Yeah.
It was Angry Birds 2, which just came out, which I'm addicted to right now. So
cool.
Play it. It's a great game.
But
Spawn, #Spawn.
I don't play it. I'm not an Angry Birds
It's just one of those things. It's it's a game to play on the. But
he likes his toilet games.
I do love my toilet games. Oh, there's so much.
Not games about toilets.
No.
Not games that are good enough to throw in a toilet.
Yeah, but just
games to play when you're on the toilet.
Exactly.
Do you think you're more skilled at those games while you're on the toilet?
I think so. Depends on what I've eaten, but yeah.
So Hank, you might recognize, of course, if you guys are followed his tweet here to GT Live. Thank you guys for showing up, friends and fans of in the Sohinki clan. But they might not know you. Do you make lots of appearances in Smosh content?
No, not so much.
So Matt Robb you're the head of Smosh Games.
We call him the Smosh Father.
They call me this against my will.
This Matt says jump. This Matt says how high. That's basically how that works.
True. He says, in a minute, I'm watching international.
Yeah, I go.
I don't really want to do it.
I will eventually get around to jumping.
Jumping will happen, but not right now.
What is that? X? Is that X? Okay.
Yeah, X is jump, I guess. I creative director for Smosh Games. I kind of work with these guys. You guys have been doing it for a while. I came on about 2 years ago. We kind of use our collaboration. We've known each other for upwards of 5 years. We use our collaboration and our knowledge of this world to kind of make awesome stuff for everybody. And I get to do all the boring, bossy stuff.
And he keeps us, he keeps us on track too.
Yeah. I have like little leashes, like little bungee leashes that I walk.
And you guys are all so you guys are all in that one office together, just causing a ruckus. And you're right next door. Do you ever just bang on the door like, "Quiet down, you kids"?
All the time, and we feel like everyone always does that to us. Too.
Well, it's funny, like whenever anyone's coming into the office because they're like being shown around or whatever, like they make a point to be like, and this is the kids' playroom where they do the games and stuff. And
it's Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby actually shows people around.
And then we're gonna
Oh,
get
dear.
the pudding pops.
Yeah, it gets weird.
I don't know. Yeah, we might want to find somebody new for that. Aren't they trying to find him? Like now we just revealed his location. Everybody's
he's
gonna know.
actually here. He's here in this kid's room.
But for those of you guys who don't know, we're in the Defy Media building now. Game Trailers has been at Defy for a little over a year now, and you guys are, of course, are with us at Defy. That's where that connection comes from.
Yes.
So while it is, some people we have drive in from various locations around California. We take advantage when people are in town in SoCal, to be on the show.
Yeah.
Whereas you guys had to make that long hike all the way down the hallway from the other side
over
of the
there.
building.
I mean, we walked over.
I didn't think we'd make it at one point, but
Yeah.
I got this bottle of water like halfway, and I was like, what, we
You're
got this.
determined.
Yeah.
So I don't want to make this seem like you guys are a safe guest, because we've been sitting here talking. It's like, oh, well, somebody backs out. I'll go over and
We're
ask
the
Matt, and then we'll just come
unsafest
in.
of guests.
This is
I mean,
true.
I'm bottomless right now.
This is true.
gross.
But we are on the side of the desk. Matt could pull it off, but if you're over there, they can see.
Oh, damn,
They
you
can
can
see.
see
The
it.
pants, yeah. They can
Damn
tell.
it.
They can tell what shoes you're wearing.
The ruse.
That's what the kids call wrecked. That's what they say.
REKT. Hashtag REKT.
But you guys have when you have groups like you who do more funny videos and goofy stuff, whereas like we more like actually trying to figure out what's happening in the industry, more analytical like
We don't
analysis
care.
of the games
We don't
industry.
care what happens in the
But I mean, regardless of what content you're making, when you get a group of gamers together, you all kind of start to realize your shared interests in the stuff that you
Yep.
like. Case in point, Mr. Sohinky has his phone on the table.
It's
and
frozen.
is currently
Oh, no.
I
watching.
don't know what's happening right now in the secret
And is
versus
following,
IG game.
or was previously following
Oh,
the
I
Dota
gotta-
2 International blow by blow.
Still
it looks
trying.
like the game might be over. So I'm gonna have to head to Twitter as soon as I can and find out who won the game. But
Tell us in the comments below.
Yeah, the comments will let us know.
someone,
Who won the International?
Someone let me
Everybody
know.
us
Well, it's not the whole international, but secret versus IG. It's very.
Whoa, we said
It was game 3.
guys.
Any money on that game? I mean, anybody? If it was Vegas, who's going to take it?
I originally thought secret, but it's I think it was an intensely close game when the game froze just now. So we'll
when you started the stream.
That's probably why it froze.
yeah, and many people think that a lot, at least individually, Secret has a lot of the best players in the world. So
They like to. Our audience likes to say fast and loose. Certainly whenever Kyle Bossman is hosting the show, they don't know what to expect. Whereas like I keep a little more of a rigid ship, but. We've been doing so much talking throughout the week that I really just kind of want to pick your brains about what you guys are excited about. We talked a little bit about it before the show and prep some stuff that we could talk about. But I mean, as long as we're on the topic, esports. Earlier today, Call of Duty had an event just about esports. They're
really?
showing off this new game. We're still kind of hungry for footage of Black Ops 3, period, let alone actually watching professionals play this game that technically isn't out yet. That seems pretty brave for a publisher to be like, hey, take our game, break it. Go get out there and try to.
I think it's the best way to do it because it's such a tight community that what better way to get word of mouth than just to throw it out there and be like, all right, have fun. I'm just not going to look or listen. Yeah, it's brave, but I think it's awesome. Like we need more marketing like that.
and I think if you're striving to be a game that is accepted as an esport, it needs to be the best it can be. It needs to be the most balanced, because if people feel it's not as good as, especially like with a Call of Duty, a previous iteration, then no one's going to accept it and it's going to die.
Do you think likewise it's extremely bad on a company? If you talk about risks, you had the Ultra Street Fighter 4 on PlayStation 4 that didn't work. They came out and they had to fix stuff at the last minute. Like that's basically the risk. Do you think it's too great of a risk that you could possibly what if it's right in the middle of that Call of Duty thing crash?
I mean, yeah, it's a risk, but it's as much of a risk as doing a live demo and having Uncharted crash on you.
Which is why we've only seen one live demo. The entirety of this,
exactly.
it was Scalebound was the only thing that was actually played on the
That's
stage
right.
at either
That's right.
EA or Microsoft. So
Which looked interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, but to keep on topic, I don't think it's that big a risk. You can always be like, well, it's beta, it's an alpha, whatever. And Street Fighter is going to be a thing that's always competitive because the FGC just loves that stuff. So Street Fighter, I don't think it was a big risk necessarily.
how are fighting games performed within the Smosh community. Is that something? Do you have your fighting
Well,
game
I mean,
guy?
between you and Flitz, I feel
Flitz
like
is the
Okay,
biggest.
that's right. That's true. Yeah, Flitz.
Yeah.
Flitz. We have talked
Flitz
about
loves
that
his
before.
fighting games. I mean, he's a stick guy. That's like his jam. He's got like his own behind the desk. He's got like a massive stick.
Flitz has a very martial arts approach to.
It's not a kid show. Don't worry.
Yeah, I'm gonna let it go.
He's
He's
he
the
likes-
Lenny Kravitz of Street
Oh,
Fighter players.
absolutely. His stick is out all the time,
Yeah,
guys. I'm sorry.
he fights so hard that his stick falls out.
His stick just pops right out. He rocks too hard. No, but I mean, we actually just we've got a sneak peek for you GTers. We're doing Mortal Kombat for an upcoming thing we just shot today, so it's going to come up
cool.
in a couple.
Yeah, we
couple
were
days.
catching up on the DLC, playing with Predator and all the new skins and
Just
stuff.
awesome. Carl Weathers finally getting some work.
Yeah,
He's
totally.
in it. It's great. Yeah, so we're playing that.
It's a win-win all around. So you're excited. Do you think? Do you kind of not care if esports takes over because you can just appreciate the games that you like? Do you want it to grow? Like, do you want it to own?
I
you
do.
know?
I've been an esports guy since before it was called esports. I think I've been
V-sports back then.
No, I was watching. So I always bring up the story when I talk about it. I was watching Counter-Strike before they even had casters, and they had this tournament called the CPL, and you had to know like the TCP/IP address of the game. So you'd look it up, and then you'd connect to the game, and you'd just be a spectator in the game watching it silently. Me and my brothers would like hook it up to our TV and just like watch people play Counter-Strike. So yeah, I've been wanting esports to be a thing for a while. They tried it out a little on ESPN a while ago and didn't work out. And then they had that Heroes of the Dorm tournament, which I think made more people be like, oh, this could actually be a thing. There's professional broadcasters.
A lot of mixed results on Twitter for that.
Well, yeah, hardcore sports people are like, this is an abomination. But,
Yeah.
you know, they're just being old, cranky people.
That's
I
true.
mean, you know, if shuffleboard's a sport, you know, I mean,
Yeah.
if there's any kind of like ultimate frisbee's now potentially an
hell's
Olympic
highlight?
sport,
Yeah,
right?
I'm,
You know,
I'm
if it's
sorry
like-
that our gaming took up your competitive eating slot for like an hour or whatever
Yeah.
you had on ESPN2. But
Like if poker is taken as seriously as it is on cable and you know and television, then
I think it's
yeah, it
there.
totally makes
Yeah.
sense.
on ESPN2, I once saw the World Series of Darts. So I'm just saying there's worse things out there than video games.
There are one or two things.
I got to find out who won that, and they are going to be the guests.
I have to say though, so the hype man for the World Series of Darts, he was killing it. He was freaking out about everything. And then they get like the 180, and he'd freak out.
But that's the thing about esports is like, you know, the tweets that you make during these events, I'll have no idea what event it is you're watching, but it's so clear, like, oh, so Hinky's watching something right now, and
Yeah.
you're freaking out. It is infectious. You know, I talked about that earlier today, where it's like, I don't watch golf, but when I'm around my dad, I do. You know, I don't
Right.
like basketball, but like when I'm around my brother, I'm way into it. You know, because he'll clue me in
It's
on
a
stuff, and I
cultural
can just
thing.
kind
It
of
really
feed on
is.
his interest. And so I guess that's kind of like a fever that's just slowly taking over different parts of the industry.
I get chills sometimes, like watching, like, especially like the calls on some of the plays, and if you really like know what's going on, yeah, it's I love it.
And just the excitement. You know,
Yeah.
you can hear.
Well,
you know,
and
these
there's
guys just
it's
freak
such
out when
high
things happen.
drama, like especially this year. There's so much money that's on the line, and yeah, it's very.
So for people that want to
compelling.
get into the international right now for Dota 2, regardless of whether they've played or understand Dota 2 or you know MOBAs at all, what's the schedule? When do they tune in? If this thing just wrapped up,
Yeah,
potentially.
well, this match wrapped up. There might be, I think there are more matches today, but it's running through Saturday. The grand finals will be Saturday, and I think that broadcast starts every day at 10 a.m.
And where do people check it out?
It's twitch.tv/Dota2 or Dota_TI. You'll find it on the homepage every day, pretty much. It'll be on one of the featured boxes.
Or just follow Matt on Twitter, and you'll pretty much be talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
You can lead backwards from there.
Yeah, just like click to his account, scroll down. You know, it's like oh my god, and then like maybe there'll be a link in
there
there somewhere.
somewhere.
eventually.
Eventually, it'll be in there.
So I picked your brain a little bit before the show started about what out of Gamescom you guys were interested in. Blizzard certainly popped up.
Yeah.
Which actually they haven't. We have had some videos that popped up today where they made some announcements across all of their games. It seems like they can really just kind of talk about darts. I mean, they can really just pick. Today it's Warcraft, and they're like,
Yeah.
oh my god, you know, it's like all of their burners are going full blast right now. So there is so much to talk about. We're going to find out what the heck the new expansion is, possibly the last expansion or one of the last for World of Warcraft.
They said that they have content through 2020, so I feel like maybe one more or something like that.
It was interesting that they, you know, a lot of people were reporting yesterday or the day before that like, wow, the numbers are down. You know, it's getting close to like 2005 numbers for Warcraft. Like, does Blizzard care? I mean, is
No.
that, you know, does any MMO
Maybe.
need to like meet a certain number to be cool or to be relevant or to be considered a success?
I think it's its own thing at this point. You
Yeah.
know, like how do you measure it at this point? You know, yeah, sure, you just measure it against itself, but realistically, I think they're all right. You know what I mean?
You know, I like to give you an idea of how long the game's been going for people that don't know. I think I played that game for like 7 years maybe, and I haven't played it in 5. So yeah,
You were in 5th grade.
no, I was in
yeah.
high school. I think I was in.
It'd have to add up to 10 because it's been 10 years. It's almost 11. I think it's been 11 years now.
Yeah, I think I was in 10th or 11th grade when I started playing. When it came out, I started playing the night it came out. That was
Like, as much as I don't play Warcraft now, I played that much, like
Oh,
when
yeah.
it was actually happening. Like,
Yeah.
Lich King was my, it was like, it's like picking your favorite album from a band you all like.
Yeah,
It was like,
right,
that
yeah.
was my era. I was the Lich King album. That was my
Yeah,
favorite riff.
that was the one.
That great Warcraft band. But yeah, it's just funny. Like when you have a new announcement or a new expansion or something for a game, it's always like, what is this going to mean? Is this going to make this game even more popular? If it's not popular, is it really going to turn things around?
They just drag everyone back with the expansions. Blizzard's so good
Yeah.
at making those cinematics that make you really nostalgic and want to play again. And it's taken me until the most recent one to be like, no, I'm not doing it. You've gotten me back every time until now. I can't do it again.
Well, I think Draenor had much more of a pull than Pandaria did. So like Pandaria sucked you in and Draenor didn't. Like
Yeah,
like we're going back through the Black Gate and you're like, I'm fine. But
I
they're like
just-
pandas and you were like, sign me up.
Pandas are cute.
Pandas are cute.
Pandas got you.
Well, and one
The
of my
softer
favorite,
side of Sohiki.
One of
okay.
my favorite heroes in Warcraft 3 was the Pandaren Brewmaster when they introduced like the neutral heroes.
That's right.
Yeah. So I was pumped for pandas.
How does
Alliteration.
pandas work out for you?
I-
Did you finish up the panda expansion or
No,
did you?
I
'Cause that was me
didn't
for
s-
Cataclysm. I
didn't-
leveled up, I explored the world, and I was like, I don't need to kill Deathwing.
Well,
I'm
I
fine.
just tried Pandaria. I didn't like fully commit to it. But, like Cataclysm was the last one that I actually renewed my subscription for and everything. And it's just kind of the thing where I was like, I played for a week or two, and I was like, oh, it's the same.
Do you ever see yourself phasing out of Dota, of something like that, or are you kind of looking for a new competitive game to watch? Or do you just love this so much? It's like
I haven't been playing much Dota, to be honest, because like it's the game. There was one patch that made the games just last forever, and they've since kind of lessened the effect of that patch since then. But it like killed the game for me for a while, so I haven't been playing much Dota, but I always watch it. I'm always into it. At the highest level, I think it's like the most beautiful esport that there is, as far as like the drama, the timing, the precision, the skill level that goes into it, the teamwork that it takes, everything that goes into one single game to achieve victory is so intense.
I don't know, man. Rocket League.
Yeah, Rocket League's in there.
it's growing.
It's getting big.
Esports potential, you think?
I think it's in. Did
Yeah,
they just announce
well,
it?
they've
Oh,
been
wow.
running. They've been running tournaments. People do like the craziest stuff in
Oh, yeah.
Rocket League with like flying through the air and aerials and stuff.
It's
that,
insane. Yeah, I mean, we're addicted to it right
Well, there's
now.
no like physics to Dota 2. Like, Dota 2 is a very, very target-oriented game. I'm just, I'm
Yeah,
gonna be
yeah,
on the
yeah.
side of the table that doesn't play the game, so you can all just
No,
look
no,
at me
no,
and
Can I
laugh.
come over
Like,
there? Can I come over? Is that
but
cool?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No,
But I
you're
look
right.
at that. It seems like a different skill set. It seems like it's certainly not a game that somebody from Dota 2 can just be like, well, I'm gonna master this game.
Rocket
clearly,
League.
Yeah.
No, but I think a lot of players that are really good at Dota 2 were really good at like StarCraft and Warcraft
Right.
and like those kinds of games. So it's sort of that same skill set, I think.
Speaking of MOBAs, I mean, what do you think of what Heroes of the Storm is bringing?
I love
is that
Heroes
something
of the
that
Storm.
interests
That's
you?
what
'Cause
I've
you were
been
talking
spending-
about length. You were saying they added a patch that made them so much longer. And
That's
like
why-
clearly what Blizzard. It's what they did with Hearthstone. They're like, yeah, screw this Magic Jazz. Let's
Yeah.
5-minute game. That's good enough.
Yeah, that's why I got into Heroes of the Storm. I was like, man, I need something that doesn't suck up so much of my time. And like, because when you lose a Dota game that lasts 75 minutes, it's devastating. But if you lose a 15-minute game of Heroes of the Storm, you're like, all right, I'll just go on to the next one. So yeah, I love Heroes of the Storm, and I think even though it's simple, it's got its own thing going on. So I like it.
So all of the Blizzard. Are you a big Blizzard fan, Matt?
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, Matt actually got me into Hearthstone not too long ago, and I've kind of been addicted since.
Well, yeah, maybe.
as much as a casual can be addicted.
Yeah.
But that's the crazy thing is they got so many different properties,
Yeah.
and like you could really just announce anything for any of them. So you look at all of these things like StarCraft, we got Legacy of the Void coming. Hearthstone, we got the Grand Tournaments, that they're announcing cards for.
Yep.
Here's the Storm has to launch one of these days. Between all of these
Oh,
things,
isn't it out? It's
Is it
out. Yeah, it
officially
launched.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it
We
launched. It
galloped
launched a
right
little while
past
ago.
it because of the beta. The beta made a lot of noise, but we galloped right
I'm
past
totally
it.
on both sides of it. Before it launched, I was like, well, that game came out. And they're like, no, it hasn't launched yet. And now it has launched. And I'm like, when's this game coming? But it is crazy they keep announcing new characters. So it is, kind of, and it was playable. Like it was in beta for a long time. So it does get confusing, especially in being a
they've
journalist. We're like, when does it actually
They've said that
happen?
their plan is to introduce a new hero every 3 to 4 weeks in that game, which is
That's ambitious.
quite
Yeah.
a bit. But they've already announced 3 more heroes. That was like a Gamescom thing today, as they announced like the next 3 heroes that are going to be
What was
rolling
the
out.
Smite model? Wasn't that something similar? It was what
They
1 month
release
or-
new characters pretty frequently in
Yeah.
Smite as well.
and that kind of worked really well for them. I mean, obviously on the PC side of things, Xbox.
So if you could have any one of those properties, if you could have the next thing, if you could get Grand Tournament now, if you could get Legacy of the Void now, what would it be?
I've been playing so much Hearthstone.
I think Grand Tournament, yeah.
Yeah? Over like Overwatch?
Oh, okay. Well, if we're including,
yeah.
all right, if you're
Yeah,
talking
anything.
about,
If Blizzard's
okay.
selling it, you could have
If
it right
Blizzard's
now.
selling it, Overwatch 100%. That game's gonna take over my life for a while when it comes out. I think it looks so good. They just announced that new like DJ character who
Right.
shoots sound waves at people. I don't know. It's something's going on there, but it looks cool. That game's dope.
Do any other games like that interest you? Like Black Ops 3 is adding heroes or their like story characters, that all have their individual abilities. There's Battleborn from Gearbox. Like
Battleborn is awesome.
So that model intrigues you, just kind of like the hero shooter.
Yeah, I like it. I've always said I'm very interested in Battleborn for that reason, because I've always said it would be cool to have a MOBA that had first-person shooter mechanics. So I'm really interested to see how that one works out, because even though they have like the full single player and everything, they've mentioned at least that they have this MOBA mode where you have lanes and minions going through. So it should be interesting.
This couch is very Blizzard heavy for sure. Huber's not looking. Huber's not feeling good. Huber is
not feeling good.
Huber's battling something.
Yeah.
Huber was on a flight back from China and just had air pumping out the whole time through the flight.
Nice.
And some kind of
Struggling.
airborne particulate.
But Overwatch gets me
just
hyped.
cursing him.
Yeah.
So
That's good.
Overwatch pierces through the sickness.
That's your
Work
day
them back up. So that would be
Overwatch.
yours as well if you could pick any of those things: StarCraft, Overwatch,
Yeah.
Hearthstone,
And
Warcraft.
so, Hinky, we just discovered we were on the BattleNet, Ben and I. And
Oh
all
yeah,
of
it
us,
has it on the bottom.
Yeah.
but only for some of us.
Oh.
So Ben and I had signed up for the beta
Yeah,
at BlizzCon.
same. The
Immediately when
instant
the
they
game,
announced it.
Yeah. So we have it on ours, but they don't have
No,
it.
only I don't have it. I
Oh,
signed up.
surprise.
I signed up way
Yeah.
later.
Oh man, that could be an awesome thing.
So I'm
Yeah.
wondering if that means beta is coming soon.
It was the illness. The illness made him
overall.
do it. The illness made him do it. That's right. No, I hope so. Man, that game, I played it at BlizzCon, and then I played it again at BlizzCon, and then I got back in line and I played it. That's all I did at BlizzCon.
I think we might be doing it soon. I think we might be doing a thing with Overwatch.
We've been trying to
I'd
organize
bet on
something.
it, Matt.
Yeah, it's a good bet to have. Yeah. Now we might do a thing, guys. I think we're gonna do a thing with Overwatch.
Hopefully
But you
soon.
do. I mean, that is kind of something to talk about as long as I got you on the desk. I'm going to take advantage of it,
Yeah.
Matt. You guys do a lot of sponsored stuff.
A good amount.
How is that? How
It's
is
good.
that?
I mean, it's good. You know, it's working whenever you have to kind of play to a certain person's rules. Sometimes it's great, and sometimes it's not so great. But
Yeah.
for the most part, I mean, it keeps us doing what we want to do. We just did a thing. We did the Smosh Summer Games, which was awesome. We were at a beach house for 5 days, and we shot an entire month's worth of content. And stuff like that wouldn't be possible if we didn't have awesome sponsors that were like,
Right.
"Yeah, go do this, and we'll let you do it." So I mean, it's great. It lets us be giant children. It lets us play video games all day long. I mean, why not, have something like that? I think it's great.
Like you said, there are some people that are easier to work with than other people,
Right.
but I think doing that stuff is necessary if you want to make a business out of doing what we do. So.
Yeah.
We when we were first getting our content off the ground, about like a decade ago for GT, we were like, maybe we should do trailers. That'd be really fun. We should actually produce trailers. And like right when the 360 launched, we like got some contact with some companies and made a couple trailers. And we're just like, cool, let's never do that again. That was not fun at all. Just
Yeah.
like how many revisions we had to send back and how many changes. It had these editors who were really excited to work on stuff, and they're looking at me being like, why am I changing? I'm like, they said it.
Yeah. That's why I think
just
it's
make
good.
that
Like
change.
we can be like, and then we throw Sohinky in and Mousetraps hit him, and they're like, okay, we don't care. But if you touch our game, then yeah, we'll do something. Like, no, we're just gonna do some wacky stuff over here. Pay no attention. Like, and then we'll play your game. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
Did you just pull that off the top of your head, or did you actually go into a
No,
room
you
with a
did
bunch of
it.
mousetraps?
Yeah, no, there was a thing we had to do where I had to walk through a minefield of mousetraps blindfolded.
While
with-
singing
and
Pokemon theme.
we did the Pokemon theme song. That was more like a comforting thing. Like if I had to do this, I want to be like singing something. Like it has to be a camaraderie thing.
Yeah, it was. Pretty
There were also
amazing.
mousetraps hanging from the ceiling.
At right about groin level.
Well,
which is
and those
perfect.
were so the frightening part about it. So the ones on the floor that we were stepping on were like okay, like they hurt.
They're all hurt.
They all hurt, but the ones hanging were like industrial, like
We'll
your
cut a
finger
mouse's head off
strength.
type of mousetraps.
And
Those
for-
are the ones at crotch level on purpose. Crotch and eyeball level, I think we left them at.
Yeah,
Based on how tall you were. But it was.
he loves this stuff so much because he like gets to make these plans. He's like, yeah, and then look, you're gonna walk on hot coals, and we won't do the thing beforehand where you like wet your feet so it doesn't hurt, and it'll be great.
You'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Look, I wouldn't make you do anything that I wouldn't do myself.
And do I or do
but
I
I'm
not
not gonna do it.
Yeah, I
though,
don't normally
so.
don't do it. But I've done some of the things.
Some of the things.
Yeah.
I forced him to do something.
Like staying on a beach house for a month.
Yeah, they're all like, guys, listen, I wouldn't make you hang out at a beach if I didn't hang out at a beach.
Yeah.
So I hung out at a beach for a week. It was great.
Yeah,
So, sometimes
you're
I
such
make
a
you guys
trooper.
get up early in the morning for certain events and stuff like that, but I've never had you walk on mouse traps when I can actually get their attention.
Yeah, they don't care what you got going on.
Sorry, we were in chat.
What are you looking at? What?
We were in
looking
chat.
at? What?
We were in chat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What are people talking about in chat? What's
They
going on?
want us to play Street Fighter 2 in the background.
To play Street Fighter 2 right now?
Yeah.
Why Street Fighter 2 specifically?
I think we talked about it earlier.
Do
A
it.
couple days.
Yeah.
All you got to do
I
is
want
say
to see
Street
who's
Fighter.
the
and
king
everybody
over
screams
there.
Street Fighter.
of Street
Yeah,
Fighter
it wouldn't be
2.
too hard to set up. Yeah, you guys set that up. That'd be great. We'll get back to you in a little bit.
Killing it.
So Blizzard killing it. Definitely looks like Warcraft is the main announcement that they're going to make tomorrow, but they made another announcement today. So there's
What the
all
hell
sorts
was
of reasons
that?
to be excited about Blizzard this week. Rash coming to Killer Instinct. Not something that I
So
thought was going to
good.
be.
Boom.
So good. Look at that. He's even wore the hat.
I
It's cool.
came prepared.
I love Battletoads,
Don't
but like
understate it, man.
you're
Come
very
on.
excited
I'm
about
very
this, Matt.
excited.
I will
all right?
say though, if they don't add like Double Dragon in there, then that's just going to be a big oversight.
No, don't do that. That's stupid.
but it's
But-
just Rash, and not all of the Battletoads.
It's just Rash. Rash was the best.
So it'd have to be Billy or Jimmy.
Yeah. So one of them will be in there. They're the same. One's red and one's blue or whatever. It doesn't matter.
Oh, okay. So the
knock
different
Double
Battletoads, there's clear. It was Rash the good call. of
I
all
think
of
Rash was the best call. I mean, you get all the Battletoady
Wasn't
stuff. You
Rash
have to
like
be
the
a
Michelangelo of the group kind of thing?
Yeah, but he's a toad. That's a turtle.
Yeah.
Those are two
Well,
completely
I'm
different species,
talking,
Matt.
I'm talking about personality wise.
I guess he didn't wear an orange mask.
Okay, you're not getting the point.
No, I think it's awesome because it's taking something as wacky as Battletoads and forcing it into something as serious and bloody as Killer Instinct. I think is awesome.
I don't know if Killer Instinct's that serious.
I mean, it's
Because there's not like a narrative. Like Mortal Kombat's classic is bringing in people,
Sure.
and that definitely has a narrative that you should pay attention to.
right,
Like,
but also Mortal Kombat is relative. If you took a character from Clay Fighter and threw it in Mortal Kombat, it'd be kind of like, oh, weird, okay. But I mean, like this is just Battletoads is such just a wacky like, what the hell is
It
this?
is a little weird. Like they have Hisako or whatever, the like Japanese ghost that just like goes inside of you and rips you up from the
Yeah.
inside, and then like Fulgore is like this killer robot thing, and then
It's not like
A
happy,
toad.
wacky. Like, I mean, this is very. Yeah, look at that. Look how serious everybody is.
That's so awesome.
And then he's so
It's
good.
awesome.
It looks great, and he's got the shades.
Well, it was funny because it was kind of a disappointment for Kyle Bossman because we're going into the Microsoft press briefing yesterday, and what day is it? Yeah, that was yesterday, and we're trying to figure out because Kyle has this theory. He's like, well, Rare Replay's coming up, but they have this statue. And they have a statue of one of the Battletoads. Can't remember specifically which one the statue is, but he's like, it's like a redesign. Like, it's not the Battletoad that's in Rare Replay. I've never seen this Battletoad before.
Weird.
So I don't know what this is. I don't know why they're making this.
Weird.
And then this announcement happens. We're like, oh, there you go, Kyle. There's your
Yeah,
Battletoad.
there
You're
you
done.
go.
He was like, oh, I was kind of hoping
Like
there
a new
would be an
Battletoads?
actual
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah,
this is
a new
good
game.
enough, right? As long I'm not raging out at the sewer level.
good
at the
enough to
racing level.
satiate Battletoads fans for the foreseeable future? Is that the claim
no.
you're making, man?
No, not at all. No,
This
we
is
need
like-
a real Battletoads, guys.
This is slightly related, but a little off topic. But did you see? This was a few years ago when they were going to do a remake of Streets of Rage,
Yes.
and like that footage came out, and it was like this was the game that was going to happen and didn't. That was like the biggest heartbreak of like the last few years, gaming wise for me. Like make that game, make a new Battletoads, make a new Streets of Rage. Where like
They did it too with the arcade, and it like showed the original game, and then slowly panned
Yep.
out. Gave me chills.
that was so good. I'm so someone's got to be working on that. I don't know. I'm keeping
would
hope
think.
alive.
Keep hope alive.
I love Heartbreak though. It's
Yeah,
so good.
it's
it's like
it's
it's like
tasty.
Mr. Mike Huber here got his absolute dream come true at E3. Shenmue 3 was announced. We all
was
got
that was a
we all got to
beautiful
revel in the glory that was seeing this man more excited than I've ever seen him his entire life. But Heartbreak is sweet too.
Yeah,
it's
Heartbreak is
really
actually
great.
tastier. It's more palpable. I
Heartbreak
think.
is like how you know you're alive, really. It's like,
That's
oh,
true.
things
That's why you
hurt.
went to a dark place.
Yeah.
Wow, man. All right.
I'm waiting for them to just.
I was trying to be
finally
deep. I was trying to be
cancel
hashtag deep, but
Just cancel it.
it was.
Maybe I made a mistake. I mean, I went over and asked you guys what your favorite things from Gamescoms were. Maybe I should have done the opposite. Like, what made you sad?
I don't. Well, I mean, you didn't really care about the new Worms. I mean, you were excited, but you just care about one aspect of Worms.
Well, okay, so here's my thing.
Here we go.
Here's-
20 minutes.
This is
You
my
just start the clock.
man. I'm
Worms WMD. We're going out of
Worms-
order, Blair. I apologize.
Worms WMD. So Worms Armageddon 2 to me was like the best Worms.
The
right?
Worms.
It was the Worms. It had all the best weapons. It had like the super sheep and everything. But the biggest thing that was wrong between that one and then the worm, I don't remember the name of the worms that came out after that. But the ninja rope. In Worms
Ninja
Armageddon 2, the
goddamn ninja rope.
Like, it's supposed to be a cartoony, fun game. It doesn't have to have realistic rope physics. And you could do cool stuff with the ninja rope where you, like, shoot it next to you and propel yourself upward and around objects and stuff.
Not how actual ninja ropes work, by the
No.
way.
But, I mean, maybe how some sort of futuristic worm ninja rope might work.
Sure.
But in the subsequent games, they had, like, realistic rope physics where you just swing on a rope, and it took all, like, skill out of it. It was like, oh, do you happen to be in an advantageous position? I guess you win the game.
So can you tell what you may or may not like from Worms WMD?
Well, when I'm looking at the game, it looks like more true to Armageddon as far as the gameplay goes. I'm hoping that they fixed the ninja rope.
The art
and yeah,
style has
it's
changed,
fixed.
no? A
little bit.
They look like toes now. I don't really like how they look. They just look like just a
They-
bunch of like
Well, they've always-
disembodied toes.
They've always kind of looked like that. Also, the class system never really panned out that well, I
yeah,
felt.
that's true.
So yeah, they need to bring the ninja rope back to its glory. That was my ish. That was my ish.
Good job.
Yeah.
Worms ninja rope, you would just jump out of your seat. That would be your
Yeah, if they
your
showed
number
off
one
the
Gamescom
ninja rope
announcement.
and it was like just a lone shot of him shooting it to the ground next to him and shooting straight upward into the air, I'd be like, all right,
There you go.
I'm in.
Color you $39.99 later.
Yeah.
You're good.
I'm in.
But yeah, Worms, I got to admit, I was surprised to see it's not like I don't like Worms or I don't understand Worms' success.
It is a weird
I just
thing
don't
to
have an
come out of.
experience with
Yeah,
Worms.
it is a weird thing to be like, Worms, guys, the thing you've been clamoring for. It's like, have we? I mean, aside from just Sohinki and his ninja rope fetish.
I've played like all the Worms pretty much. I don't know. I
you
love
go.
this game.
But is it a thing that you're like, yes, more Worms? I mean, you were a little excited when we saw the trailer.
I'm not like, it's not like Half-Life 3's coming out, but I enjoy.
But wait, Worms 3, 3 different Worms in the Half-Life 3.
Don't do it.
Yeah, no,
Don't do
There
it.
are lots of threes, lots of
Lots of
big 3
threes.
talk at
That's true.
at Gamescom this year.
There you go.
Speaking of a 3, what really should be called a 3, Star Wars Battlefront
Oh
3.
my God. I'm so excited.
Yeah,
The
I mean,
new
we've
mode.
talked about this a lot. We just scored the trailer.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, it scored pretty high.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love this announcement. I'm excited to play the game. I love actually how this trailer's cut. I think it's like a really concise, smart look at the mode.
It looks good.
It brings me into the world, but it also just seems like a fun multiplayer match, you know?
They've been doing a great job with the trailers of zooming into this part of the action and then back out, making it look cinematic, and then here you are on the battlefield again.
But it doesn't like betray the game, you know. It's not like Grand Theft Auto. Sometimes people can complain about that, where they're like watching a trailer and it's like, oh, it's in game, and people are like, it's not in game.
Yeah.
I can't tell what the game's playing like at all. You know, we're like, you definitely get the feel. Of,
It's
of
100%.
what it's like to
yeah.
pilot these things.
My one gripe is I've yet to see going from land-based combat to space or air-based combat, which they have promised. They've said that it's a thing.
Yeah, well, we got a little bit of that
Did
in Hoth.
Yeah.
A little bit, but
not
I don't
space.
remember.
I don't think because they haven't talked about space yet.
They haven't. Well, no, that's right. Land-air, basically, going from.
Yeah, I think it is a bonus. I think it is literally fade to black, fade up. You're in the ship.
Oh,
I don't
no,
think you
that's
actually
such a
like
crock.
climb up. It's not like
I want
Battlefield.
No Man's Sky style, like, and now you're in space dogfight. Do it, like that's what I want. I want that, but we'll never get it.
Well, it's EA, and they like to roll stuff out. I mean, The Sims was a travesty today, and further showed like how they're handling that franchise right now, where they're just like, we're going to release this real bare bones thing, and then all the good stuff's coming. And so I think that's an easy play for Star Wars fans, that they're like, we're going to give you, Boba Fett and Chewie and Endor and Han and Vader and Luke and all
And
this
they all-
stuff to make you happy enough for that launch to get us above an 8, and then all the awesome stuff's going to come afterwards.
Look,
Episode 7.
Oh
the,
yeah,
you
they've
know,
got up
the-
7 stuff.
People
yeah.
are like really worried about what's not going to be in the game, but what I've seen so far is it's going to be amazing. I don't care. If
And,
that
and
doesn't-
it sounds fantastic. That was my big takeaway from E3.
Yeah.
Granted, you're playing lots of games with the headphones on, and that
Right.
always makes stuff sound a little bit better than it would.
Well, that was part of the. Did you see the presentation at Star Wars Celebration? Yeah,
did.
that was part of the big thing. Like, we went to Skywalker Library and we actually dug up all the old reels and all the old set. Like, they are legit. They are like, this is our Star Wars game. We're making it real. It's for real, which I'm excited about. It's about time.
I like
it's
that
about
they
time.
like even in this mode where it's only air combat, they still have like the hero mechanic of flying in the Millennium Falcon and Slave One and that kind of thing.
Whoever's doing that voice match is pretty good.
Yeah,
I like
not
him.
bad.
Yeah.
Not bad.
I wonder if there's like a guy, because there's I can't remember the guy who does Yoda, but there's like a guy who does Yoda. It's,
Right.
Tom Kane, I believe, might be. His name.
Yeah,
Who like does Rebels, all the
He's
the
the go-to.
cartoons. Like he's if you need a Yoda, he's your Yoda. So I wonder, if there's like a go-to Han. 'Cause
Probably.
who wouldn't want that gig? You
Right?
kidding?
Yeah. I mean, to be young voice of, I think it's great. I mean, I'm really looking forward to it. Nothing can beat Super Empire Strikes Back, but it'll be pretty good. It'll be pretty
Oh yeah,
solid.
the Super Star Wars. Born in Super Star Wars. You really like the
Empire Strikes Back. Come on, yeah,
with the Force powers and
Yeah.
I was,
the lightsaber around and all that stuff. Yeah.
Oh, you're talking. Okay, X-wing versus Tie Fighter. If you're talking like dogfight games, that was my jam way back in the day.
Super Empire was a side-scrolling adventure.
Jedi Outcast.
Ah.
Excellent.
Yeah, that's true.
On
That's
PC,
true.
it was pretty darn good.
All the Dark Forces games. There's so many
Right?
good Star Wars
There,
games.
there are some really good Star Wars games, but I think this is going to be pretty true. I'm excited. I just want to see multiplayer.
We actually, I will segue that really quickly into a segment that we usually do on a standard episode of GT Live called Number 11, where we talk about the countdown that we're doing this week.
okay.
This week we're doing the top 10 collections
Okay.
that we want. So, we got, speaking of collections, we're giving away Mr. Red Replay backpack. And I was thinking about Red Replay, and I was like, I wonder what other franchises, that would be really great and perfect. And not only just talking about, like, that franchise, but, like, what games? How much is it? How do you package them? Like, what kind of extras would you put in? Why? Why is this a good time to package that stuff? And so we do a segment on GT Live called Number 11 where we talk about the games that did make it. We're like, we loved it, but we don't. Usually Mike Huber's the one who gets up and, gripes and moans about, this one didn't get in. And one that I thought of that I wasn't necessarily expecting to make the list, but a Star Wars Legends collection. Because they have the big, they're kind of like retconning and, pushing, okay, Dash Rendar, get out of here. Like they're getting rid of all of these other elements of Star Wars that, if I have my 8-year-old that's like, oh, now's the time to watch the trilogy for the first time. Like, you should know who, Kyle Katarn is. And it would be interesting to have, like, all the Jedi Knight games, Shadow of the Empire, like all those games that focused on that expanded universe stuff, the two KOTORs, specifically the extra stuff of characters you might not be familiar with.
Yeah,
Would be,
I mean, that'd
Is
be
that
awesome.
stuff,
A fun
Is
collection.
that stuff still canon? I never know anymore.
Nothing
it's
is
called
canon.
that would be the collection would be called Star Wars Legends because that's what they're coining it now. Star Wars Legends. Is
Oh,
like
okay. Gotcha.
any of those books or anything else you read.
Yep.
Heir to the Empire, Legends.
Luke with 2 U's, all that. Yep, Han's son from.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, oh my God, yeah, dude. We want to talk novels? Yeah, Han and Leia had a kid named Luke with 2 U's. It was a whole thing. Yeah,
Because they had the twins. He's not one of the twins, right? Is he another kid?
he's
or?
another kid.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a whole thing, man.
Boy, they got busy.
It got really
after
weird
Return
in
of
the
Jedi.
'80s. It got really weird. There was a lot of weirdness. I think Chewbacca had blue hair. I don't know. It was weird.
We
There was
were
some weird
so we were doing like the Mortal Kombat stuff today, and we were talking about like what game what like franchise you'd want NetherRealm to do a game of.
Oh, okay.
And
Battletoads, boom.
well, I said like they should do a Star Wars fighting game. That would be amazing. And then someone brought up Masters of Teras Kasi.
Oh my
Right?
God,
Oh,
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Had, like the thermal detonators and stuff. Yeah, I was sorry. That just reminded me.
PS1 classic.
Yeah.
Um,
God, that was awesome.
Featuring Mara Jade, I believe, was in that game, talking about expanded universe stuff. But yeah. So tune in Friday for the top 10 countdown, top 10 collections that we want. Back to Gamescom because we are over the 30-minute. We're almost at 40 minutes on the shows, guys. We are flying. We got
look
to
at
talk
that.
about other stuff. We Happy Few is a game that looks
Awesome.
rad.
Yeah.
I don't know if is there a date on this yet? Do we know when we're getting?
I don't think there's anything.
This
I didn't
game?
I haven't heard anything about it until I saw the trailer, and I was like, oh, it's a bunch of clips of a guy getting pulled out of various places by V for Vendetta. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It looks cool. It looks like Bioshocky.
Yeah,
in a way.
there's definitely a Bioshock.
It's like
vibe,
Bioshock,
for sure.
Purge, V for Vendetta. Like all the creepy doll mask things. Yeah, I mean, it looked cool.
Yeah, I think it looks awesome. I just have
Yeah.
no idea what it's about at all.
But I think that's the big thing. We got like PAX coming up at the end of the month, and PAX is my favorite indie event. It's not all about indies, but like my favorite thing at PAX is just strolling upstairs and just seeing what game purely just from looking at it really pulls me in. Like whether it's the visual style, whether it's that's tower defense, that's my jam, or whether it's just totally unique. It's like if you can make some kind of 2D platformer and catch my eye, bravo. Because there's so many of those out there. So what was it? Was it the strangeness of it? Was it like kind of the style? Like I gotta admit, I do have a soft spot for really encapsulating kind of a time period like Bioshock did, even though it's hard to tell really what time period you're
Right,
in.
right.
But, like clearly capturing this aesthetic and just making a game that like the people who made this had a vision.
That's what's
You
good,
know?
right? Having something like that and creating a universe is the most important thing. Like if you can create a totally unique universe, which I think we can all agree Bioshock is in its different iterations. Something like this is just like even while we were watching the trailer, I was like halfway through, I was like, do we need more of this crap? Like what is this?
I was sold.
Spooky garbage. I'm like, wait, no, this is actually kind of cool looking. It's actually kind of an innovative world. And I mean, good for them because that is an iconic looking villain. Like and it's probably not even a real villain, just a mini boss. But I mean, that's awesome.
I get really drawn to stuff with those like creepy aesthetics, like the mystery of it. Like even just not knowing what the game's about makes me want to know more about it because it looks so cool. Yeah, it just looks like an awesome creepy world, and I hope that it's like got some puzzle elements to it too, which it looks like there probably will be. You're exploring this world and trying to figure out what the hell's going on, and yeah.
I like the juxtaposition of the cleanliness of these open areas, you know, and all the way they're dressed, and you see the guy on the little bike, and it's all polished and sheen, and you know, and then you go into here, and everything's scratchy and degraded, and there definitely is like a fine line between these two worlds.
It's very interesting. Like there's the corpse in the street, and the two guys with the happy mask, and there's like a lot of bright colors going on at the same time. It's really zany.
So how long can a game like this be mysterious before they have to just come out and be like, oh, okay, this is
When is PAX Prime?
this is like right?
Yeah.
Something
In
like
a couple
that.
weeks.
Yeah. Pretty much then. I honestly think. I mean, they're driving to the website. People are already talking about it. You can't keep it up for too long because just a marketing strategy. You don't want people to keep asking questions. You want to give them answers.
Speaking of questions, Ian has
I
a
have
question or a
something
statement.
to say. I just noticed.
We give him a mic. I apologize.
Oh, how
I have a
dare you.
mic. Sorry. There's a
That's
cool
okay.
part in this trailer where when the guy with the glasses is pulling the guy out of a place, the player character's hand bumps his glasses up, and you can see the dude's eye underneath it.
Oh yeah.
It looks really cool.
Show
Oh,
me.
wait.
This game looks cool.
Show me.
It's just right at
Right.
the end.
Right.
It's
Well, you can see
coming
his
in a
eyes.
minute.
Yeah.
But the other guy has glasses on. Yeah, and he kind of like pulls it back.
Just let
There's
it
no
go.
pausing,
It'll
man.
be
But
there
it
in a
could
second.
Pause.
it could mean everything. All right, this guy
Right here.
You
Look
watch
at
really
this.
closely. Don't miss it. Don't miss it. Here's the
Super
moment.
cool. Here it comes. Here it comes. There it is.
Oh, creepy.
Super cool.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
I love this logo too. My God.
No,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
great. It's
I
great.
love these 60s
it's very,
fonts,
it's
dude.
very 70s kind of.
Reminds me of No One Lives Forever. There was
Yeah.
that shooter series where the female secret
Very
agents.
The Prisoner.
Little Austin Powers in there. It's definitely a good vibe. And creepiness is great.
creepiness is great.
Gotta love creepiness.
Yeah.
Kind of a fun creepiness. And it definitely has the right attitude.
As long as it's not around a children's Chuck E. Cheese-esque place and there's animatronics, creepiness is great. We're all
so
Like-
you're not that's the line that you draw, man?
Yeah,
Like Five
that's
Nights
it.
at Freddy's, you're not down? No.
not digging on the Five Nights franchise.
I can't believe there hasn't been a Five Nights in a Chuck E. Cheese. Have they done that yet?
It basically
It
is.
is
I mean,
Chuck E.
it is
Cheese.
Chuck E.
Well, I know, but it'd be great if they actually like set, you know.
Yeah, they
Because I was that kid, Matt, that like whenever somebody would have a birthday party there, and it would be like downtime in the performance, so like the curtain would be pulled, you know, and I would know
You
like
peek in.
there are these robots behind the curtain, you know, and
They're
so I'd like
freaky,
go
man.
and sneak under, like, because you're just starting to, you know, I always wonder. I don't remember that. I always wondered like what age. Does kids? I see kids at Disneyland. I'm a big Disneyland freak, and I see kids like see Mickey walk by, and then they see Mickey later, you know, and they're like, "What?" You know, I always wonder
Yeah.
like what age it is. Where you're like, "Oh, okay."
It's a guy in a suit.
I got
That's a
it.
guy in a suit. I don't know. I think, I mean, they do everything they can to make sure that the magic is never like taken away. Like you get it, like you see it. I don't know. I feel like you can get into your 20s or 30s without.
you even know.
Yeah. Hey, look, Mickey Mouse. Hey, look, Mickey Mouse. He's super fast. He's
Speaking of creepy games, did you guys see that a fan like remade PT? Have you
Allison
seen that?
Road.
Well, that's not. There's a
believe
game
it's
called
called
Allison Rose that is
Allison
not.
Road.
If that's what you're talking about, there is another game that is similar to PT where you're in a house and there's a ghost, and that was just them. They were already making the game. Like they like
Oh, really?
like PT came out and they were like, oh wow, that game's like ours. And then it got canceled and they were like, sure, here we go. And
Yeah,
they kind of
right.
like took over.
I saw an article like some fan apparently made like a copy of PT
Oh,
like
legit
Oh, crazy.
or something like that. And I knew you guys
Actual
were like
PT?
super fans of that when it came
We
out.
are super fans of that, but we're game trailers, Matt. So we need video.
Yeah.
If you
yeah,
come in
doesn't
here
exist.
just spouting, you know.
Take your
Make
propaganda
us-
elsewhere, sir.
Put
We
up
need
my
proof
phone
here,
and
yo.
Attempt to find this.
So,
for
well,
you.
Matt takes 10 minutes to do that.
Yeah.
Move on to the next game. But I'm glad that you brought up We Happy Few because it does. See, again, if I went to PAX, that's totally a game. I would come back first and foremost and make a big deal about that because, it, you know, something like I remember last year, Evolve was a big game there,
Yeah.
but like we weren't really showing anything terribly
Yeah.
new. Like Civ was there, but we kind of understood it by that point, where it's a perfect opportunity for these weirdo games to pop up
Yeah.
and to get the attention that they deserve. So something at Gamescom when we have Battlefront, it's like, oh come on, how is We Happy Few going to compete with Battlefront?
But I mean, that's great. That's the kind of stuff that we want because there are people that are just so burnt down on the AAAs. They're like,
Right.
we get it. Like, we know, sure, Star Wars, sure, we're going to Worms, whatever. But like,
Right.
it's just so cool that it comes out of left field and is awesome.
We have two other games. We're getting into the twilight of the show. We have Ben Moore has joined us. He's sitting on the couch.
Hey.
If he likes one of your questions and you happen to live in the United States, we will be sending you this fun-filled backpack from Rare Replay. Really quick, Ben, before you jump up on stage. Unravel, you guys thought was adorable. Probably on the exact
It
opposite
looks
spectrum of
so
We Happy
cool.
Few.
Yeah.
I played this at E3. It's great.
Yeah, she's Yarn
It's
Palace.
super fun. The
That's what this
physics
is.
are really great.
Nice.
There's a lot of great moments. I think one of my favorite moments, you like step on a rock and the rock like falls away and all these rocks come crumbling down and you have to like kind of run backwards, like hopping from rock to rock as they're all flying off this ledge into a lake. It looks way more beautiful than it has a right to.
Yeah.
You know, and the guy came out on stage at Judges Week and started pitching the game. I was like, okay, this game will be neat. And then he started playing it. I was like, wow.
I love games
Look at
like
the
this
background.
because the game itself is relatively simple. I mean, I know the puzzles get difficult, but they're able to spend this amount of time like making it just look absolutely gorgeous, and this is one of those games that just looks so good.
I mean, are we feeling like this is becoming more of just an easy staple? Like this is, to me, like I haven't seen the full thing yet.
The
It looks
quirky
cool.
indie game
Well,
kind
yeah,
of
but
thing?
it's just like, oh, look, it's Limbo, and it's also that drawing. What was the drawing one? What was the little brother? What the hell was it? Where you had the pen, the magic pen that could draw items. It was
Oh,
like one of the
yeah.
Xbox One. big
Max
one.
and the Curse
yeah,
of
yeah,
Brotherhood,
Yeah, Curse of the
think?
Brotherhood. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that it's similar. It's like it's kind of becoming its own genre. Like, look, I mean, this.
But
looks,
they're all
The
delightful.
adorable platform.
Yeah, the adorable play, exactly. Like it's an adorable puzzle game. Look, but this is Yarn. It's different than Limbo, and it's different than the other one. Like it's like one quirky thing away.
I think
Right.
I think you can really tell though. Like a good example is Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons. Did you ever get
Yeah.
a chance to play that?
Yeah.
Play.
That looked interesting, and I was like, oh yeah, I'll go check this out. And it just had a couple people that were like, play this, and I
Yeah.
went home and played it and cried my eyes out.
It's
It was just
awesome,
Like,
right?
oh, it's a crazy. So I think like that's the difference is when you can actually make something like this that's not just charming,
Sure.
but it's actually poignant and
Right.
actually like.
I mean, hopefully the
makes you-
story in
makes
this
you
is
think
great
and
and
reflects
it's
and-
awesome. I mean, the character looks cute. You know, little cat thing.
At the end, he finds a yarn fish, and it's adorable. He
and
cuddles it.
with it.
Well, then
You're
you're
done.
gonna cry. This is it.
There's lots of cuddling going on at Gamescom. The Final Fantasy 15 trailer. Lots
It's a
of
German.
cuddling.
It's a German thing.
Oh, it's, okay. Well,
Yeah.
there we go.
Yeah, they have the really-
And also Quantum Break.
Oh my God!
The game, yeah. If you like Max Payne,
Starring
if you like,
Sean Ashmore. You remember him?
yeah, and like I've said a lot of weird things this week about like casting and there's all sorts of weird things. Their TV show, it's still like I don't like that they're calling it a TV show because it's just
Yeah.
cutscenes. You know,
This
like
is really
it's
weird
cool
to
that you
me.
can change the live action cutscenes that you're going to see, but they're still cutscenes. But the game itself, I mean, I enjoyed Alan Wake. I
Mm-hmm.
loved both of the Max Payne games. I think this is the kind of developer that like when they say like I'm going to take more time, you know, if it's Peter Molyneux, you're like, you know, but if it's Sam and Remedy, like
Yeah.
I have faith.
No,
You know,
this
like,
looks awesome.
I'm really interested to see how this stuff plays out. I think it looks like a game that's just gonna be full of surprises.
Mm-hmm.
So I am intrigued. I don't know if there's anything specifically you wanted to say about it other than
Woo,
Any-
pretty much woo.
Any game where you like jump off of something and then Superman punch someone in the face, like it's got to be good, right?
Yeah, that's it.
or any
That's-
day at Defy Media, really.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we should try to Superman punch as much as possible. I think it was weird that the trailer would focus on the big names of the thing. I thought that was a little odd, but I guess that's probably part of the reason why they got them to be so involved. I mean, I'm sure it took a long time for them to be a part of. I mean, the cutscenes and the episodes, as they call it, or whatever they want to call it. But I mean, the game itself looks great. It's like, why can't you just make the game look great? Why does it have to be an Uncharted cinematic experience?
And the other thing is, I think if you put that live action right, if you show like, look how realistic the characters look, it's like, wow, they really do. And it's like, here's live action. It's like, why are you showing me that? You
Yeah.
know, like why? I got really immersed to this version of Littlefinger, and now no, that's actually the actor. You know?
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know. I just like a game like this. Like it makes me worried because it's like they had to put all this money into all the stuff that isn't the game,
Right.
Because they were distracting me from something. It's like, no, but the game looks dope. Can we just play the damn game? Like it looks awesome. Like why can't we just?
Once packs?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Can I just get my hands on it, please? Now.
But if it ends up being like a cool cinematic experience, like I appreciate some games like that take it as more of like a visual approach. Of
Are they
like,
going for like a Last of Us feel? Is that what they're trying for? Like, look, you're gonna get like an experience. Like this is gonna take you on a journey. Like,
Maybe.
That's what I
think
thought.
more of a because Last of Us wasn't really a mystery that much. You know, I think it was more just kind of like the human experience, the journey.
Yeah.
Whereas this clearly looks like a mystery. You know,
Right.
you got to solve like like who's behind this. You know,
Sure.
who's the ultimate bad guy. Like, you got to go catch Dr. Claw and handcuff him. Ian Hank has been trying to get my attention for a very long time.
I just think where in this ad it says time is power. I think at some point it'd be a missed opportunity. You remember the movie Fallen?
Oh, yeah.
I think where
With
they keep singing
Denzel
"Time
Washington and- yeah.
is on my side." They got to use that song
right.
in a commercial, like slow motion, black and white bullshit commercial with "Time is on my side." That'd be hilarious.
Maybe time is power because they take so long to develop the game. They're like, hey, time is power.
Now we
You know,
have so
the more
much
time
power,
you give us,
guys.
the more power we have.
So much power.
We're not
It's
going to
about
make
10
any
years.
money.
Hey, look, a Banjo-Kazooie bag. Hey, how would one get that Banjo-Kazooie bag? How does that happen?
They got to ask you questions. You have to answer them. You're going to give someone that.
Like
basically.
trivia questions?
Someone is going to get that. Yes.
Oh, no.
They're all Battletoads trivia.
Oh, yes!
All right,
Count
Mr.
me
Benmore, coming up and throw some crazy questions at these guys.
Throw them. Lob them at us.
Toss them.
Yeah, underhanded, gently, yeah.
Don't catch
Softball
well.
style.
These questions are kind of all over the place this
Oh,
week.
great.
Well, so are these guys.
Yeah.
We don't do anything linearly.
Taking you to a lot of different places. I guess we'll just get started with this first name that I can't pronounce. This guy doesn't really like vowels all that much. Like Working
Kackner.
Kackner.
Oh, yeah.
Working Gackner
Yeah,
is
yeah.
a good buddy of mine.
Old
Working
friend.
Gackner.
Working Gackner.
He asks, since YouTube and specifically Twitch audiences tend to skew toward a younger demographic, does that affect what you guys do and what you make? Does it affect the games you play?
I don't think it affects the games we play at all.
Well, it doesn't affect the games that we play in the sense like, ooh, we can't play an M-rated game because we have a kid audience. Like, I think it more affects like, would this be funny? Is it funny for us as adults, or would it be funnier for kids? I mean, we all have very puerile senses of humor. I think there's not a day that goes by that Joven isn't farting for whatever reason and
On
chuckling
camera
to
or
himself.
off?
Yeah, on camera or
Yeah.
off. Yeah, this look of disdain. Yeah,
it's deadly.
Saves it for the elevators.
we all laugh. We all have fun with it. I think, sometimes we try to go a little highbrow and sometimes it doesn't really play off. But when it does, it works. I mean, Honest Game Trailers is a perfect example, right? Because that is not necessarily like fart jokes. Like, it's kind of smart humor.
There's some fart jokes.
There are
but
a few fart jokes.
There's
big
smart humor
sin.
and there's fart humor.
Exactly. Smart fart humor is what
Look,
we go
if you're
for.
too mature
Smart.
to laugh at fart humor, then I don't want to associate with you. That's all I'm saying.
It's true.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah. So to answer your question, nope.
Okay.
Yes,
I
we're
mean,
doing it. Yeah.
But I think that being said, we are Smosh Games, and Smosh had an established brand of humor, and though our brand of humor is a bit different from theirs, we have to stay true to it to some degree, right?
Sure.
So,
Mike Cook
Wrong.
asked, and I really like his use of caps here. I could feel his question.
Okay.
What game do you each of you really, really want right now?
We're
if you could
both
just
really
pick
using caps?
one game. No, just the second one.
Oh wow, that
Yeah.
is impressive.
That is impressive.
He built.
What are you dying for right now?
Wait, that isn't out or that like doesn't
That
exist?
isn't out. That isn't out. One
Okay.
game that doesn't exist. that you really
unannounced,
want.
anything?
No,
Doesn't matter?
announced.
Oh,
We'll
man.
go with announced.
Which is unreleased.
Yeah.
Okay, so a birdie that I can't name told me,
Ooh, Scoops
Scoops,
on GT Live.
that. So,
Oh, go ahead.
no, this has nothing to do.
All right,
This
good.
isn't. No, you can.
All right, good.
Take
Save-
a deep breath. Someone that I can't name told me that they went to Sony Santa Monica, and the next God of War is 100% definitely being worked on, and it
Whoa.
looks awesome, and that's all they could tell me. But that's the game that I want, and I'm hoping, another thing he couldn't confirm either, that they kept the multiplayer from Ascension because it was the only good part of Ascension. It was amazing. So I want like a God of War 3 quality single player with a God of War Ascension quality multiplayer, and that's the game I want.
Wow, that was That's
It's like I'm watching The Know or something.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
It's
this
like,
is
trust
impressive.
us.
Yeah.
We have all this information that's going to take us 20 minutes to explain.
I was gonna
We can't
s-
credit anyone. It could probably
I was
potentially
gonna
all be
scoops, but
false.
I can't. If you have a scoops, I can't scoops.
No, scoops
No,
it.
I'm not gonna scoops.
We'll
I'm gonna
take double
say,
scoops.
I'm a huge comic book nerd, right? Bigger comic book nerd than I
Right.
would say. I'm
Totally.
a totally comic book
Totally,
nerd.
I'm like the coolest comic
Coolest
book
comic
nerd.
book
No
nerd,
big
you
deal.
guys. Pretty cool, right? And I would say I know Injustice 2 is happening, and I want it now. I want it now. Like I don't think there was a game that I played more than that damn game.
Injustice?
Yeah. Injustice 2 is just going to be amazing. I mean, if like that was the thing. Flitz and I are both big A, fighting game nerds, and B, comic book nerds, and we went to E3 3 years ago, and we saw the trailer for Mortal Kombat, and we knew Injustice was coming, and we were like, oh, well, I mean, Injustice is going to be amazing. And then Mortal Kombat hit, and we're like, oh my God, this means Injustice 2 is going to be even more amazing. Like, it's just going to be so damn good, and with the physics and the things that they're able to do over at NetherRealm, it's going to be amazing, and I can't wait. And just the lore, it's just everything about it was great.
So did that sell well? I mean, Mortal Kombat X has been killing it this year.
Yeah,
it's
it's
definitely
amazing.
one of the top selling games of the year. So kudos to them for that.
And I think they're gonna
just
ride
never,
that.
I never really tracked how Injustice did. Because
Injustice did well.
I'm a DC guy.
Oh, yeah.
I did not grow up Marvel. I grew up DC.
No, DC's great.
Batman's my end all be all of
Yeah.
anything. Like screw Shakespeare. It's all
Well,
about Batman.
Batman, he'd totally beat anyone if he had enough preparation. That's all
Here we
I'm
go.
saying.
Here we
So,
go. This is his
Oh,
argument.
okay.
I don't actually think that. I just get annoyed when Batman fans say that. That's
Oh.
all.
In the argument of Superman versus Batman.
Or anyone.
And it was Superman,
Look,
Batman versus. Here we go.
He's the best detective. Okay, he knows everyone's weakness, and if he's got enough
We're running
time,
short on time, buddy.
he's got enough time to prepare,
All right,
then
okay.
he'll beat anyone.
Yeah, keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
That was great. Good job.
That was a really nice thing you said about Batman. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
really
that's good.
appreciate
I
that.
love Batman. Love it. No,
You got a
I
tattoo right here, Batman.
Yeah.
You got a tattoo right there.
It's on
No, I mean, I love Arkham Knight. I think it's been great. I'm still playing it. I just found out that I can go home and play as Michael Keaton, which I'm super excited about.
Right.
And I can't wait to do that. But I mean,
Oh, yeah, is that out?
today for season passers. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I know what I'm doing tonight.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey-oh. and there's levels. There's like
and those
racing
levels. Yeah.
levels. in
I
the
just
old
want to know
Batmobile.
how the physics works with the different Batmobile. It's not. It can't tank.
Well,
how do you take
no,
it?
but it's not. I think you can only use that version of the Batmobile in those racing levels.
No.
It feels like it because they said there's gonna be new racing levels and we're adding this Batmobile to the game, and I had that thought. I was like, how's that thing gonna turn into the tank? Oh no, it won't.
But
That's
even still,
probably
how
they're doing
the
it.
tank physics? You can't take out the. We'll talk after, but you can't take out the tank physics
of the
even from
game,
the
but I don't
race.
think you can beat.
Because even in some of the Riddler races, you have to
Well,
tank.
maybe, yeah, but maybe not in these Batman. They're like Batman Returns races. You
I know.
like you're like going through the zoo, chasing after the penguin and everything. And,
all right, it's fine. I'm still gonna play it. But I mean, there have been rumors about what the next big kind of Arkham-esque game is gonna be. So that'll be great. But Injustice all the way. I know it's coming. I know it's gonna be amazing, and I can't wait to play it.
good conversation, like that question. Thanks, Mike.
Yeah. Nizarus says, how do you balance between appearing to play a game quote unquote well while also being entertaining and engaging for a video?
Oh man, none of us play games well.
Well, I mean, so I did. I will put some context to that question. So I did Grand Theft Smosh with you guys finally.
Yeah.
When we came on, I was like, "You guys play Grand Theft Auto every week? I'm so down!" And then like finally snuck in there and played it. I had to make a new character because you guys played on Xbox instead of PS4. I was like, I have a level 50 character right now. Okay.
Yeah.
But I think I'm like up in the 70s or something. But I definitely felt the vibe that like when something goes wrong, or when one of the Smosh guys will like mess up in some way, like everyone else just pounces. You know, like you kind of wait for that moment. So you're like, yes, finally.
It's mostly
finally
Jobin.
somebody slipped on a banana.
It's
peel,
almost
like,
always Jobin. Yeah, it's almost always Jobin that messes up and then everyone jumps on it.
No, I think the only show that I still worry about doing well is Game Bang. That's one of our shows where we compete
I like
against
how
each
you
other.
emphasize game.
You have to emphasize the M because otherwise it's naughty.
Yeah, it's true.
But yeah, I've had to in the very beginning I focused more on being good at the games than I should have, I felt, and then eventually I was like, oh, I should actually be entertaining, and it was a learning process for me. So to answer the question, you have to know that you have to be entertaining, and sometimes that means sacrificing looking good.
Also, I think that if there's a punishment you really, really don't want to do, and this is definitely Lasercorn's case, like just do your best. Do as well as you can so you don't have to eat dog
and
food.
look as angry as you are when you lose.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. That's
then
pretty
you're
much the way to
entertaining.
do it. Yeah, exactly.
Let
Super
the rage
entertaining.
flow. That's like the key.
Phantom asks, if you could get one rare game remastered to have a new sequel to a rare game, which would it be, and would anything change?
You know the answer. Yeah, right there. Yeah, right there.
I was a fan of Battletoads versus Double Dragon.
I was too. A lot of people talk crap on that game, but I really liked it.
I liked it better than either individual game.
Me too.
So taking style out of it, taking nostalgia, taking like the old, just the beloved Super Nintendo era. What an awesome console. What is it? What's the sell of Battletoads? I mean, like, what's the why was that game not only so unique for the time, but has held up? And is it because it hasn't happened?
By the way, this
Like
headline right here that
Okay, PT Fan Recreation aims to preserve canceled survival horror title. So yeah, that's not the.
there's no video or anything.
Yeah.
Blew Ian's mind.
Whoa.
There you go.
Hashtag whoa.
To answer your question about Battletoads, I think that it's just how ridiculous it was. It was literally like just the preposterousness of 80s and video games, and that kind of element and just authenticity. It was just so much fun, and it wasn't like kind of taking a jab at itself as much as it was like, we're just gonna make something fucking weird and it's gonna be awesome. Like that's kind of what it was, and you don't have anything like that anymore, right? You've got like Broforce, which is like, we're gonna make something weird because it's weird. PewDiePie's gonna play it. Like that's kind of what the goal is now. But like that was just so pure and honest of what it was. And I mean, you were a toad that turned into like a wrecking ball, and like what? Like some stuff like that. Like even like if you were to take like Comic Zone or Boogerman from the 90s and make those now,
Boogerman.
right? Like, that's awesome. Do that, because it was just so ridiculous. No, come on, not a Boogerman game.
Neither of those games are very good, in my opinion. But
But if you were to take
Comic
those,
Zone over Boogerman.
Yeah, of course.
There was a vote.
Of course, they were. I mean, they were nonsensical Sega one-off games. But like, if you were to take something like that and to make it now and like add some really great story elements or gameplay elements to it, sure, it'd be ridiculous. But those are just pure video game nonsense.
So it'd have to be a Boogerman prequel, because then you'd really get into the origin of Boogerman.
Exactly,
And kind of
exactly.
explain like,
Booger
what
Boy.
leads up. Right.
So
Yeah.
GoldenEye.
Wait, Boogerman really lit up Ian Hink over there really quick.
Well,
Sorry. I like where that conversation's
Did
going.
the Kickstarter for the new Toe Jam and Earl,
Oh,
did
exactly,
that get
yeah.
funded? Because I'd play
Oh
that.
man,
Did
that
it,
game looks
did
so
it happen?
good.
I don't think.
Yeah,
we're
I'm gonna
even
play
there
the
yet.
hell out of that.
I'm not sure if they reached their goal or
I
not.
don't think they did.
Let's look.
I hope.
I thought it looked a little weird. I thought the
It
new
looks
engine. I thought the new engine
strange.
they were using kind of didn't do a lot of favors to like how the map was laid out.
I was just excited to play like original Toe Jam and Earl again, basically. Like I think
Right.
I went home when I saw that and just like ROM'd it and just like played an emulator of it. And then I got annoyed because I got up to level 7 and then like the tornado knocks you down 3 levels and I'm like, okay, screw this game. Maybe that's what everyone did. And that's why I didn't
Yeah,
reach
that
the
game
goal.
wasn't
They
fair.
gotta fix that.
what's that?
Not a fair game.
No.
Toe Jam.
Neither's Battletoads. So
So-
you said the magic G word. So Hinky.
GoldenEye
Yes.
007, and so I don't know if a lot of people know, but someone made a GoldenEye Source mod a long time ago. Not a long
yeah.
time ago, like 4 or 5 years ago. And that's like what we used to do at the office where we all used to work. Is everyone would be like, "GoldenEye time? Yeah, it's GoldenEye time." And then we'd all jump in a server because no one played it for some reason. So we'd all have to like start a server and then connect and play.
Wow. I do. I play Disney
It did
Infinity
it.
2.0 every Tuesday afternoon, and I goof around the toy box. I'm currently building the facility map.
Can you
Oh, nice.
explain to
Disney
these
Infinity.
guys that that's a fun game? Because we were just talking about doing something with Disney Infinity because we're all obviously Star Wars fans. We're all Marvel fans.
Right.
Disney is Disney.
Yeah.
But like everyone's, I mean, I think even like one of the Laserchrome was like, I don't really get it because it's such an open-ended game. No
Yeah.
one really knows what it can or can't be. I've been trying to do something with Project Spark for a while. I think Project Spark's a genius game.
Sure.
It just takes.
I'd
There's a
be
new one-
horrified to see what you guys could put
Yeah,
together.
exactly.
Project
But how
Spark.
great would that be?
Yeah,
Well,
right.
there's that new one,
I see the wheels
Dreams
turning.
or whatever too, that's coming out. Do you know what
Dude,
I'm
that
talking
thing
about?
looks
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
Malachite,
scary. Yeah, that feels
That thing
a
looks
ways
weird.
off,
Yeah.
and that feels like actually difficult.
It did it.
Oh, nice.
They made it?
$508,000. Toe
Nice.
Jam and Earl
I
sequel.
think I might have funded that too.
July 22nd. Yep. Sorry, it's been a long wait, but we did it. Yay.
When does it come out?
I don't know. I think
Never.
it
Now.
just
I don't
means they
know.
can
I
do
mean,
it.
I can make the argument that Disney Infinity is fun. I don't know if Disney Infinity is Smosh material.
Well, I mean, realistically,
Project
you
Spark
can-
sounds.
But
more,
you can
more up
still
their
make
alley.
something wacky in Disney Infinity, right?
Yeah.
You can still make some insane stuff, and I mean,
Yeah.
you can't cross-pollinate, right? You can't have like Leia hang out with like Gamora, right?
In the not in like the play sets and like the story specific stuff
Right.
they do, but in the
But if we make
in this-
some weird
in this
ass
build
game-
mode, whatever anything goes. Yeah.
Cool. All right. See,
That's
let's
like
do it.
yeah. Whenever I do multiplayer in Disney Infinity, it always devolves into like the Hulk and like Mr. Incredible just beating the crap out of each
Making
other.
out. Oh yeah, no, yeah, beating it.
And then making
yeah,
out,
then
yeah.
making out. Good. Good.
3.0,
wait, so you're talking
exclusive make out emotes.
GoldenEye. I mean, did you not play the Xbox 360 kind of Redux?
I did not. I know there was. So I
You
played the
mean
one
the,
on.
the Daniel Craig like?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I
update?
did-
Yeah, that
well,
was
they
on
had
the
that
Wii
on the
first.
Wii.
It was on
Was
the
it
Wii
on the
first.
Wii?
It
That
was
was
on
on
the
the
Wii
Wii.
first,
Oh, I
yeah.
remember
So I played it
Perfect
on.
Dark came out on Xbox Live Arcade. That might be
That's
what
right.
you're
That's what it
thinking.
was.
Well, no, they did come out with the Wii version on 360 and PS3, and it was called Reloaded.
Yeah, it was the same
Okay,
one.
right.
Yeah.
Although they added like a
never
vault
played.
mechanic where there's like battlefield vaulting over stuff.
Yeah.
It was weird.
It was bad. It was not good.
I went back and played
that
the N64 version relatively recently, and I was like, "How was I ever good at this? I can't
Well,
aim.
it's that controller. It's that
Yeah.
controller.
I can't aim at all anymore.
It takes me about 15 minutes, and then I'm back. And then
couldn't-
it's
I couldn't
1993.
my friend was destroying me. I was like, "Man, I used to be so good at this game. What happened?" He's like, "Bro, I'm just better than you."
Now Rob is looking at his watch.
No. I just
checking
wanted
the
to make
time. He
sure.
knows.
I know Toe Jam and Earl.
He knows it is the 7:00 hour on the coast, on the Pacific
that.
side.
That's right.
We got people in Europe that are just getting up. We got people in America that are just going to
going
bed.
down.
And we are wrapping up GT Live for the week. Thank you, Ben,
Yeah,
for getting the question. Are you good on questions? Are there any other ones?
Wait, I got one more.
Let's
Can you
do it.
handle
Let's
one
do
more
it.
question?
Let's do it.
Okay.
You guys are ready? Let's do it.
Okay, hat trick.
This is from Sazanami Style. I personally really like this question.
Okay.
What's one area of gaming that you wish got more exposure or credit amongst the community? At large. The gaming community.
Smosh
Yeah.
Not us.
Twine.
Twine.
It wasn't directed at you, Ian. Thank you.
I know.
One area of gaming.
Yeah, I suppose it's a pretty difficult question to answer. But
Yeah, it's not an easy one.
So one area of gaming I wish would receive more attention. This is more on the development side. Is is multiplayer gaming in general. I think a lot of games come out that have like really innovative mechanics and stories, and then it's like multiplayer. There's capture the flag and there's domination, and like so I Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, that was like to me the one that stuck out in my head when it first came out, of like, oh my god, like this, okay, thank you, someone is doing it right now, someone is taking the potential of their game and making something unique,
Right.
and that kind of thing needs to happen way more often.
Would you like maybe more of a synergy between a single player and a multiplayer mode, so that it's not, you don't feel like I'm just totally separating myself from the single player campaign,
like,
that maybe there's like a give and take between both?
Well, like, so for instance, like a lot of people tell me like, no, there are certain games that you just can't do a multiplayer for or whatever. Mass Effect was one I would argue with people about forever, and they're like, you can't do a multiplayer for Mass Effect because, you know, Vanguards are going to be OP and stuff. It's like, no, you're just thinking of that in like a very shooter sense of like,
Right.
that's the way it works. But for instance, you could have like a VR training mode where I'm commanding myself and a squad of other people versus you commanding yourself and a squad of other people in like a one-on-one match. And then part of the strategy is how do you build up your team? You want like an adept and a vanguard and whatever. This is a cool mode there somewhere that could be done, but people are like, no, don't touch it. The single player is so good. So yeah,
Well, I mean,
more innovative multiplayer needs to.
They did Mass Effect multiplayer, and it was great.
Oh,
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
The co-op, right? That's what you're talking about.
Oh, well, yes, the co-op. But I mean,
Okay.
you know, for
Yeah,
a
that's
long
fine.
time, people were like, no, I played a lot of that, actually.
Yeah, it was really fun when it came out for a while.
Yeah.
Mr. Rob, what would be your advancement?
I mean, to say in the community, as in like more awareness brought to it, like based on the fans, something like that.
Like more people knew about it, I guess, is how I interpreted the question. Got more attention
I don't
in
know
general.
If I have one. I mean, I feel like something that I wish more fans knew about. I really did. I mean, not to get too boring. I love just education. I think, yeah, exactly. See, I'm bored. I'm already boring people, and we're done. I think, I mean, education is really important. I think what we do is important, and as long as we're able to be like wacky and slapsticky, but also like at the end of the day, we can still kind of teach people, and our thing is
Yeah.
being.
You have a
friends.
heart?
Yeah,
Nerd.
somewhere deep in there.
Weird.
And I really think I'm not a Minecrafter, but I appreciate what Minecraft does and the fact that there are people out there that are able to do amazing things. Not as a cop-out, but Project Spark's another one. If people, like, I got in there, I jumped into it for like 3 hours, and I like made a minigame, and I'm like, this is amazing. Like the fact that you have this open-ended thing that anyone can use to make a game, that's so cool. And I wish more people kind of knew about stuff like that. And I think it's great that like Disney Infinity can kind of do it because you take it to the kid-like level and like, look, you're a child, now you can make Woody make a game. Stuff like that is really cool. But I really wish that there was more stuff like that was open-ended and really kind of it lured creativity.
Some of the best games in the world have come from open source things.
Exactly.
So, like, Counter-Strike was an open source, like, it was a mod of Half-Life. What is it? The Unreal Engine that's now like open to for anyone to use or something like that.
They all kind of are.
Unreal
Yeah.
4,
They're
Unreal
models.
4 has you can
Yeah.
use it for free. Yep.
Right.
But I mean, stuff like that is
Unity
amazing. I mean,
too.
even talking about Grand Theft Smosh, when we're poking around online and looking at some of these like mini maps that people make in these games, it's ridiculous, and just hours are spent. And it's awesome, and B, it's like the potential that has is just insane.
Next week, I'm going to the Toy Box Summit that they had last year for the first time. They're having it again this year, and they have an all-nighter competition. It doesn't have to be all-nighter, but if you
That's
can stay
awesome.
up if you want.
That's
Where they
awesome.
basically come in and they're going to play 3.0 for the first time. They never touched it, and they're going to come in, learn the tools, and they're going to be like, all right, we'll see you at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning.
That's
And
amazing.
we're going to judge what you do.
See, that's
and
awesome.
And the
That's
stuff
so
that they
cool.
build in a night's like the last year was Marvel, and what guy built the helicarrier when like you
my
went to a door
God.
and like went into the interior, and all
Oh
these
my
guys came out
God.
just
That's
like
insane.
See, I mean, I grew up as
8
a huge
hours.
fan of Legos, so like the fact that we could do this, without having to move is great. Whoa.
hello.
But I
Matt
think it's
Robb,
awesome.
you have an appointment. The show is over,
My
Matt.
pants are talking.
The pants that he's not wearing are
I've
talking.
noticed you've been
not
sitting in
wearing
that chair for an hour and 17 minutes.
It's time to get up and move around.
You know who never gets any attention ever? There are people on like GameFAQs or wiki sites that write 15,000, 20,000
Yeah.
words, and you don't even look at their name when you go to check out the guide, and
Right.
they help you out so much. I wish there was a way to like.
Well, it's all done in like art. I always
Yeah.
notice the first page is always done in those like it's like the weird character art, right?
ASCII
It's like a
art.
full page of
Yeah.
like this is like Skrill Face's thing, like this is his fact. Like I always wondered who did those, and I never. I mean, obviously it says their name, but like, good for them.
Yeah,
you know?
they're just doing it. They're not getting paid
Yeah.
90% of the time. And
Or the
they're
people that
putting
go
in
through
so
the
much
time to
effort.
make the damn creator wrestlers for every single wrestling game, and they're like, here's every different thing that you could do to make
I think,
Spider-Man.
I think my favorite thing is if you play like a really big RPG or a really big game that has all sorts of facets to it, and then you like finish the game, and you're still like, yeah, I just want to get that one extra dumb item, and you go to GameFAQs, and some guy made a guide just for that.
Yeah.
Who's just like, oh, you just want to get this one little subclass, stupid little collection thing? Here you go.
And it's
You're
awesome.
like, oh, I love it. I want to reach out to the internet and hug you. Thank you so much
Yeah.
for doing that. So yeah, more cred for those guys.
Yeah, that's a great question.
Warm and fuzzy feelings to wrapping up this.
Yeah,
juicy
no
live. Thank you so much.
heartbreak, heart
No.
swell.
Thank you, Ben. Good questions.
Yeah.
And you think hopefully these guys are in the States. Hopefully one of them that you select will get it back, or guys or gals. you
Fingers
know.
crossed. I'm gonna do some messages. So
Okay,
we'll see,
good.
We'll see what happens.
Thank you for taking on the responsibility of passing out the first physical object that we are giving away, not a
This is
digital
impressive.
code.
Yeah.
This is impressive.
Yeah, we could show up next week and be like, yeah, we're not doing that.
Yeah, never
That
again.
didn't work out so well. Only going digital. But thank you, Mr. Brad Ellis, who is just sitting there on his phone. You know, he's kind of chilling out. He's
Did
just,
you guys ever
he's
play
just-
Street
he's just
Street
Fighter?
Fighter 2 work out for you guys?
He's just warming up the room,
that
stealing all
work
the
out?
oxygen.
Too complicated.
yeah.
Brad.
And I can't thank Matt Blair enough. Again, he's going to be back in that seat tomorrow, rolling in all of the stuff before and after whatever happens at the Blizzard event. Whenever the next expansion, it's going to be the expansion to Warcraft, to World of Warcraft. They already announced it. Are they going to call it Warcraft 4? That would
By
be
the
amazing.
way-
Hey, it's the year of dreams. You never know.
By the way, the revelation that not everyone has the Overwatch button makes me so excited, and I have the
Mm-hmm.
Overwatch
You're just
button.
gonna take- that's- you're
Oh,
gonna-
God.
Better than everyone else?
No, it makes me feel like, oh, I was chosen.
Smoke So Inky's gonna be in his bed tonight. One of the chosen few. Thank you guys. Thank you both,
Hey,
Matts.
man.
Thank you, Matt Rob. Thank you, Matt So Inky. I know it's a long way
episode.
for you guys to trek all the way
Yeah,
over
we
to
got
get
to
here on
walk all
GT
the way
Live.
back. There's traffic.
But we really are stoked. You know, when we came in and saw what you guys do and the way you guys do it, I was like, this is great. We're gonna learn a lot of good things. It's gonna be a fun
We're
relationship.
going to hate these guys.
A year later, still trying to be friends with you, but I know it's gonna happen one day. We're gonna make it
One
work.
day. It's all it's
And
gonna
I've
be.
been and I don't know if I've ever said this out loud before, but I've been
He
watching.
hates you guys.
No, I've been watching game trailers forever. So
We
it's
chatted a
like
little bit. Oh, I was
so
on your the Smosh Game Alliance.
That's right.
We were having such a casual conversation that I was kind of losing like what place I was in, and I'm like, "Where's So Hinky?" I'm like, "Wow, So Hinky's really good at Mario Kart." Okay, I'm like, I'll just stay in 7th place. I'll be fine.
Yeah.
But,
I'm okay at it.
Yeah, that's definitely one of your gifts. Well, thank you for watching, and I love the stuff that you do. Definitely different than the stuff that we do. We're both just going out into the video game space and doing our thing.
Just doing our thing.
And every now and then we meet up on shows and we chat
Yeah.
about Battletoads and Star Wars and all sorts of other fun stuff. Thank you guys for tuning in. Tune back in tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. Pacific time. We're going to talk before, during, and after the new Blizzard hotness that happens tomorrow, whatever that is. And then that is not the end of Gamescom, but that will be the end of our live coverage of Gamescom. And again, thank you guys for showing up for this episode. We will see you guys tomorrow, and then after that next week.